Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, let's talk about your temperatures out there this morning. We are waking up to some chilly numbers with numbers in the 20s and 30s out there across the area. We've got 30s down towards the I-70 corridor mixed in with some 20s and low 40s down towards St. George. Meanwhile, you head north, we've got temperatures below freezing now, 31 degrees in Salt Lake City, 22 in Wendover, 27 degrees in Provo. But the story is, even though it's chilly to start, we got high pressure in place. So high pressure does two things. It produces a lot of dry air, sinking air, and that means that at night, temperatures cool off. When you have dry air, it cools off quickly. In the daytime, it heats up quickly. Think of the desert, right? We live in a desert climate, so that's why we get these temperatures that end up being some 10 to 15 degrees above average, and that will be the case today as we have that high pressure really settling in over the Beehive State, and that will continue to bring in the winter warmth here across the area, at least for the next couple of days. So if you like the warm temperatures, you're definitely loving, of course, most of this week. Temperatures expected today to get to about 56 in Salt Lake City, mid-50s up towards Logan. We'll call it 56 in Price, 60 in Nephi. We'll go with about 61 degrees for our friends in Beaver, 59 in Moab. And look at that, temperatures climbing to around 70 degrees officially in St. George today. Now, we, of course, continue to keep an eye on this list, which continues to grow for all of the U.S. cities that have seen more snow than Salt Lake City. Now, these are just some of the ones that really stand out because they're places that typically are nowhere near the same ballpark as Salt Lake City. How about places like Little Rock, Arkansas, picking up almost a foot of snowfall this season? Believe it or not, we have not seen that over the past 2 seasons here in Salt Lake City. That's pretty impressive. Shreveport, Louisiana, picking up already 3 inches of snowfall this season. Again, we've only picked up 1/10 of an inch in Salt Lake City. Unbelievable, right? Let's take you a little farther south and east. Baker, Florida. Over an inch of snowfall. Again, 9/10 more than what we've seen. Look at the snowpack numbers, folks. It tells the story. All the orange and red. Look at the yellow. That's maybe a little better, but still not great in the 70% range up towards the Bear River range. But you can see why. We've had this stubborn pattern pretty much most of the season with this ridge of high pressure overhead that's creating warm and dry conditions across the region. Everything goes up and around that ridge of high pressure. But again, we continue to watch some signs of a change heading into next week. A cold front starts the leading edge of this here by Monday afternoon, but it's not so much the cold front, it's what happens behind as we get a pattern that changes up to a low pressure trough that could stick around for at least the next couple of weeks after we get past tomorrow, and that will mean colder and unsettled weather, no doubt. But again, something that could have multiple waves of colder and wetter weather conditions out there for it. So it's way too early to get into specifics in terms of where the rain snow line will be, how much snow we could see, what storm will be the strongest. All of that is still up for question. But here are the trends that we continue to keep an eye on, which you'll notice the wetter than average conditions continue to increase, at least the chances of that here across the Beehive State as we get into next week and beyond. And this is about as good as what you would like to see here, especially this time of the year. You want more moisture, and of course with some colder temperatures potentially coming down, that gives you possibilities. But either way, we'll take the moisture for sure, and we'll take the pattern change that could potentially be on the way. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. All right, St. George, I've got us near 70 degrees for us today for a high temperature. We'll call it mid-60s on your Friday. Could have a couple of extra clouds arriving Friday into Saturday. That's with a weak low pressure that's going to move by to our south. Otherwise, as we go into next week, we're watching for that potential change with an increased chance of precipitation by the time we head towards the middle of the week, along with some cooler temperatures. Meanwhile, the Wasatch Front, I've got us in the mid-50s the next couple of days, about 10 to 15 degrees above average. Could see a few extra clouds on your Friday. Notice the weekend looking pretty nice, well above average temperatures with lots of sunshine. And then there you see it, the potential pattern change beginning to develop as we head into next week with increasing chances of precipitation and colder temperatures. All right, let's get a check on the roads as we get you out the door this morning here. As we check out your traffic, I-15 looking into Utah County, things are quiet there. You can see we're starting to see more of an uptick here in the amount of traffic that we have out on the road, so be aware of that. But I do want to get you over to 215. This is the westbound side. This is near the Murray area. We had an accident that occurred here. In fact, as you can see there, we had a little bit of a vehicle fire that was showing with that accident earlier also. Now, this is impacting the 2 far right lanes here on I-215 south on the westbound side. This is near 300 west, but again in the Murray area, if your traffic or travel takes you in this direction, you'll notice the backup beginning to increase a little bit as we look down towards the southern half. So keep that in mind. If you can find an alternate route around this, again around the Murray area, 300 west, it's probably a good idea here. And of course, we're working to get more details on this incident, and we'll have more for you throughout the morning. That's the latest on your traffic and weather. Let's get you back over to Matt and Alyssa.